What is going on, guys? Eric Rosavada here. Welcome to an episode of In the Catch. It is Technique Tuesday. I'm going to give you guys a little overview of what we're going to be talking about here before we jump into the video, because I only have about 3 minutes to explain some things, okay? Now, first and foremost, we are talking about the butterfly side breath. I want to say that this video is not a how-to video. It is a video explaining the technique, why I believe it is the most efficient technique when it comes to butterfly, and a little bit of the physics behind that. So ultimately, when it comes to swimming, I believe the ultimate, allergies are terrible. When it comes to swimming, I believe that the ultimate purpose is to get to the other side of the pool as quickly as possible. In that case, I think that we could agree that any up and down movement in any stroke or anything that is not helping you get forward should be eliminated if possible. When we look at butterfly, very common that you see an undulating movement, an up and down movement. And the theory behind this has been that, well, when you dive downward, you create momentum, okay, which is true, but you create downward momentum, right? Not forward momentum. And so in turn, you have to come up, typically in the exact same amount that you went down, which would negate that momentum. I am all about being efficient. I'm about minimizing drag, maximizing forward velocity in all strokes in any way possible. Things might look different, that might make things maybe harder, but ultimately the goal is to go as fast as you possibly can from point A to point B. When we look at the side breath, what this ultimately ends up doing is it flattens the stroke out, allows you to engage in the catch sooner, which minimizes the undulation. We'll talk about that in the video. Tightens up the kick and keeps your chest really, really low, almost like a freestyle breath. So let's go ahead and get into the video and I'll show you some of these things in action. Okay, so we're getting into the video here, guys. We're actually starting with a no breath butterfly. Why? Because if you'll look at this, it's not gonna be the same as the side breath. It's actually quite interesting. The kicks are larger. It's harder to engage in the catch, and this might just be me. I haven't experimented with it yet, but there's a possibility that the side breath might actually be better than no breath butterfly. It might actually maintain a straighter body line throughout the stroke. And really here in the front portion of this video, when you see it from this angle, you can really see how low the chest is, how low that breath stays. This is not like most people that side breathe, okay? You're gonna see very commonly a few people in the world that do side breathe, they lift the head up, okay? Which totally defeats the purpose of the side breath. You wanna keep it low. That keeps the kick smaller, and it keeps the hips much higher in the water. All right, so I think we're now going into some full speed footage. All right, look at the hips. This is the biggest pointer here. The hips don't move. They stay in the same position, very minimal. There's almost no undulation, but they're not low in the water, okay? We'll see again here, we go into another slow-mo video, a little bit up close and from the side, okay? I want you to see how quickly I'm able to engage in the catch, okay? It's almost immediate. And that stops the hips. That's what keeps the hips from undulating. In butterfly, just like in freestyle, the hips stop when the catch begins. In freestyle, you engage in the arms and you stop the hip and they work together, okay? It's the same thing here. You're planting the hips, engaging in the catch, okay? And that's why you'll see in the front breath, when you front breathe, you will have much more undulation because you miss that top portion of the water. All right, so we're going into this front breath here. My front breath isn't bad, so it was kind of not necessarily the best example. I tried to over-exaggerate some things, but what you'll see is I miss that top portion of the catch, all right, which causes the hips to come up much higher than they do, and you'll see the hips come up, the kick, the knees bend much more, so there's a much larger kick. And this is very common in all strokes. You're getting this upward down movement. And if this wasn't full speed, you would see the difference, okay? We're not getting all forward propulsion here. We're getting a lot of undulation, and we're getting a lot of, different directions for the stroke. So overall, guys, that's what I got. I will think I'll do a how-to for this stroke. I think that'd be something great, but thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week.